G'day folks, I'm Wren, they, them, and I've got some books I want to read this summer. So I've never done a seasonal TBR. I don't really tend to stick to books set in that season and then I read it, you know? So I'm gonna give it a go. I live in Australia, so in the Southern Hemisphere, over December, January and February, it is summer. So I've got 10 books that I want to read over the next 3 months, I hope. It's just a really vague kind of list. And a lot of these were picked because the cover gave the vibe of summertime. I don't know if any of these books are actually set in summer. I didn't do any research into them. I was like, that looks like a beach read. That looks very summery. That's super colorful. Summer. And I did have a little like challenge for myself. So out of the 10, I wanted at least like minimum one that was queer, one that was BIPOC, one that was fat, one that was disabled, one that was from my Kindle, and at least 5 of them had to be books I owned. And I think I crushed it. Gonna say the Kindle came in real handy towards the end there. So I've got 5 books that I physically own, and then I think maybe 4 or 5 that are on my Kindle. But let's just get going. So first up is I Think My Son Is Gay, Volume 5 by Kaurna. I put Volume 5 because that's where I'm up to. I think this is the last volume, I'm not sure, but it's at least the last one in English. And this is the like sweetest manga series. So it is told from the point of view of this woman, and she thinks her son is gay, but he hasn't come out, he hasn't said anything, he just is living his life, and she's just kind of picking up on things. Instead of like confronting him about it, she's trying to show him that he's safe with her. So she would drop little hints of being like, oh, look at that, there's a queer couple on the TV, isn't that nice? Just like little tiny things she'll say. So it's so soft and sweet and very healing. And I think the reason I want this for the summer TBR is because the atmosphere of it is very fun and bubbly. Like, it is talking about a serious topic of like coming out and discovering your sexuality, but it's told in such a fun, light-hearted way that it does give those summer vibes. I'm so looking forward to it. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. So next up is Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert. This one is very much a cover pick because it's such a bright cover that just kind of screams summertime to me. It's also contemporary, so again, I read a lot of contemporaries during summer. So I know this is about 2 guys going to a like Comic-Con type thing and they're rivals. But I know Kirsty read this, was it the beginning of 2024? Or was it the beginning of the year before? I don't know. One of those years she read this as like one of her first books of the year and she loved it. I just, ever since she's been so hyped about it, I've wanted to read it so much more. So yeah, two guys, one epic road trip. These mortal enemies, okay, are stuck together on a cross-country road trip to the biggest fan convention of their lives. Their infamous rivalry takes a backseat as an unexpected connection grows. Ooh. Wait, I just saw... Oh, cute! There's like a picture in it. That's cute. Okay, I am very much looking forward to this. The next one was again 1000% a cover pick, and that is Friday I'm in Love by Cameron Garrett. It's so bright and colorful and it just looks so fun. I bet you it's not going to be fun. I bet you it would be totally emotional, but the cover, it's so summery. Mahalia Harris she wants a big sweet 16 like her best friend Naomi. She wants a super cute new girl, Siobhan, to like her back. She wants a break from worrying about money, snide remarks from white classmen, pitying looks from church ladies, all of it. The inspiration strikes. It's too late for a sweet 16, but what if she had a coming out party? Oh, that's cute. Gonna be very emotional, I bet. There's definitely some undertones of serious topics in there, which again, I love. But a coming out party, that's really cute. I've never read a book about a coming out party. I never had a party. I just like individually told people and then it was just common knowledge. And it's also really short, which is great for me because I'm a slow reader. So it's not even 300 pages. So that's awesome. Next up is a book I have put on so many TBRs and I keep not reading it, which is shameful because I really, really want to. But I think it's just the fact that it's not an audiobook, or at least I can't access an audiobook, that keeps putting me off because physical reading and me, we're not friends. And that is Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. I really love Talia Hibbert. I loved the Brown Sisters trilogy. I have a tattoo from the second book. Love Talia Hibbert, but I really want to read more of her work, and this is her first kind of foray into YA, which will be really interesting. Like, it's about them just going on like an outdoors camp, which I love. I love the outdoors. So this sounds very fun. And I remember seeing on Talia Hibbert's Instagram, she was like constantly like out in nature. She'd be like getting some like experience for my new book and really trying to like make it authentic. And I was like, ooh, cute. And then this came out and I was like, haha, that's fun. The one thing I am a little iffy about with this is it's like ex-best friends to lovers. I'm not the biggest like friends to lovers fan. I actually find it really boring and I don't like it. This could be good. We shall see. These two ex-best friends are like academic rivals. They both want to be like the top. Oh my god, and she's conspiracy theory obsessed. That's a fun time. Okay, and then the last of the physically owned TBR is When Things Happen Together by Jordan Clayton Lewis. This is a book that I was meant to read for the Australian Readathon hosted by Mel from A Book Fiend Named Mel, and this was going to be our buddy read, and I was the one that suggested it, and I didn't read it. I'm not sure many people did though, because it actually was very hard to like get a hold of for a lot of people. But this is by an Australian author and it is queer and it is set in Australia. But the two main characters are not Australian. They are, well, it says two travellers on the ultimate Australian road trip. Two numbers that will change their lives forever. The numbers thing is very interesting to me and I don't know what that is about. So we have one guy from London and one guy from Ireland, and they just meet up and decide to go on a road trip through Australia. Or I think they're mainly going on the coast. Most people go to the coast because like you've seen the horror movies, right? Where people, instead of doing a road trip around the coast of Australia, they go inland and then die. After a string of unromantic dates, these two meet, and the more time they spend together, the more they start seeing the numbers 1122 everywhere. Are the numbers just a coincidence, or is something greater at play? Is the Irish guy who he says he is, or is there more to him than he's letting on? Ooh, intriguing. So that could be really interesting. I just realized this is like the second road trip book on this TBR. So I guess I'm gonna find out if I like road trips. Just anything really set in Australia, you're like, that just seems summery because Australia. All right, so now we're getting into the books I have on Kindle, but the first one is She's a Keeper by Ali K. Mulford. This cover, very summery. I think they're like at a zoo. So I think this is a romance. Oh, it's also queer. Hell yeah, I didn't know that. Love it. Ooh, Lark Lachlan has her life under control. Although she enjoys the occasional summer fling with women, the devoted to her career bisexual zookeeper has no trouble keeping her heart in its cage. So she's a little surprised to feel an instant, all-consuming attraction to the handsome new volunteer, Logan. Oh, and he's New Zealander. That's fun. Will Lark and Logan let nature take its course? I love, like, romance puns. Like, it's just like, they're not like funny, but it's just like, that was good. But yeah, this sounds fun. I didn't know that the main character was bisexual, so that's awesome. And like a romance at a zoo, that sounds really cute. Okay, so this next one I don't own, but I have been seeing it all over Instagram lately and I need it. I need to read it because just the cover and the few little like words that I've seen associated with it, I'm intrigued. But also just the cover. And the cover is very summery as well, so there's that. So it's called Silver Foxed by Kayla Gross. But I mean, they're in their bathers on the beach. Hello, summertime. And it's an age gap. I think from what I saw on Instagram, it's like Dad's Best Friend or something. I've never read a Dad's Best Friend, but I'm intrigued and I like that type of age gap. That could be interesting. Ooh, my dad is his boss and best friend. Interesting. When he unexpectedly and accidentally crashes a relaxing weekend at my parents' lake house, I can't ignore the sparks between us. So I make him an offer. Interesting. One weekend of no strings attached fun. One weekend where we will play house, enjoy each other, and pretend that my dad wouldn't completely freak out if he knew we were together. So it sounds like it could be fun, just a short, like, sexy time. That's always fun. My bisexual heart is really enjoying this cover. Let's put it that way. Okay, so this next one looks a little wild. It also just seems summery to me. There's a rainbow, bright colors, and just wild times. So it's called Mammoth Drop. Murder, Mammoths, and Mimosas by R.J. Corgan. Just look at that cover. It's really giving me Chuck Tingle vibes, but I don't know if that's where this is going. It is nice and short though. It's only 180 pages, so I love that. During Kia's visit to the Black Hills, one of the scientists in Mammoth Drop Caverns is brutally murdered. Determined to unmask the killer, Kia takes up residence in nearby Woolly Hole, a gay campground filled with boozing drag queens and bottomless mimosas. That sounds fun. Knee-deep in mammoth bones and potential suspects, Kia soon finds herself in the killer's sights. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm mildly terrified, but it could just be like just a fun, hilarious time. It seems like it's not going to take itself too seriously, but I'm almost worried that it will. Like, I just want this to be, I guess, Chuck Tingle-esque. So, Wren, why don't you just read a Chuck Tingle? But we'll see what this one is about. So we have another very bright cover, and this one is The Unicorn Confessions by Cheryl Terra. Bright colors, summer. That's just what it seems to me. And also, like, romances in summertime, very much a thing. Ooh, okay, for a second I thought this would be a YA, but our main character is 30, so that's fun. It says, Tessa Lane is a unicorn and proud of it. I don't know what a unicorn is. Sure, the delightfully chunky 30-year-old might be a mess, but at least she's a hot mess. Hell yes. And she knows she's exactly what a ton of couples are looking for. Ooh, a bi woman who wants a couple, but also wants to keep it casual. I love that it's bisexual rep. Love that, especially a plus-size bisexual. Love. To keep things from getting serious, Tessa has a list of rules that help her go from hellos to hell yes as efficiently as possible when she meets a new couple. One and done, always get a hotel room, and never ever stay the night. But there's a lot more to this unicorn than meets the eye. I think I now remember what a unicorn means in the context of this being a bi woman. I love that this was just an unexpected queer book that I just didn't know was queer, so yay me. So the last book on this summer reading TBR is going to be The Rose Contract by Scotty K. This was a cover buy and like a cover pick for this TBR list because like her dress is just really pretty and there are shirtless people behind her, so maybe they're hot. They just needed to cool down, so they took off their shirts. You know? But yeah, this is a fantasy, so a little bit outside of the other books that I have chosen for this list, but it's also queer because it's a polyamorous relationship, I believe. It says, love is free, innocence has a price. Raina was born with a secret. Of all the magic users in the kingdom of Soma, she is the only one who can hide her power. So Raina is a servant in the castle and she met a boy when she was a kid and they've fallen in love, or at least she's fallen in love with him. I don't know if it's the other way around. Ooh, so while Raina's life as a servant is sheltered, his life is one of spies and assassins. When Raina comes of age, their paths will diverge forever unless Raina can earn a place by his side. Interesting. To become one of his operatives, however, Raina must get to know her own body and outsmart the deadly people around her. I want to like this because that cover is stunning. I did want to include something in this TBR that wasn't just a typical contemporary. Putting in a fantasy seemed like a right idea. This was a cute cover. It's queer somehow. From the cover and like from the rest of the covers in that series, it seems like they're all thruples. I like the idea of this woman who was a servant wanting to become like an assassin. That's cool. And then like if we get to see her like training and becoming really awesome, that could be cool. We shall see. It's only like 130 pages, so it should be okay. But that is going to be it for my summer TBR. I have 10 books that all kind of gave summer vibes in different ways, mostly from the covers and the bright colors. That's what summer's about. That's my TBR. Let me know if you've read any of these, and do they give summer vibes, or am I just wishfully thinking? But I would really love to know if anyone else makes seasonal TBRs and what you put on those lists. Like, how do you categorize books into those particular seasons? Do you go books that are set in that season? Do you go similar to me where it's like the cover looks like that kind of season in a way? Or do you go for specific genres that you typically read in those seasons? Please let me know down below, because I would like to do this for the other seasons of the year as well, and I might need some help. But that's going to be it from me. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!